All right. Welcome back, everybody, to a new episode. Today, we are talking about the 2024 Sonic 3 movie. We just went to the movie theaters. We saw it together. and yeah, I think it was a pretty good movie. Oh, I fucked that. I don't like my intro, bro.
No, let's keep it. Let's keep it.
No,
keep it going. Keep it going.
My
so
God.
we just saw Sonic 3.
Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. So
tell me the actors. Who's directing? Who's starring? Who's voicing? What are the characters? What are the plot?
Fun fact: the director, what's his name? Jeff Fowler. He directed.
Jeff Fowler.
He directed Sonic 1, 2, and 3.
Oh, okay, so same director.
Same director. So I guess that's why it feels pretty similar, like movie 1, 2, and 3 with the characters. But also something that he did, which I thought was cool. He worked on the Shadow game. So.
Oh, really? Yeah, what did you do on the Shadow game?
He did like the cinematics for that game. So I guess the.
No way. Actually.
Yeah, like the cutscenes, all like maybe the story. I don't know if he did the story, but so he was really entitled with Shadow and all that, so he knows that character because I don't know when that Shadow game came out, the early 2000s. So he's been in the Sonic game a long time,
for a minute.
Yeah, so obviously they have some classics voicing. In this one, biggest one, Keanu Reeves as Shadow, Idris Elba as Knuckles. I just found out that freaking what's his name, Ben Schwartz, is the voice of Sonic. So
really,
yeah, I didn't know he did Sonic 1 and 2, and I just found out for this movie. I was like, what the heck? I didn't know he did the voice because he's on Parks and Rec. And
I love him on Parks and Rec. Like literally, to this day, like I'll be singing things around the house just because like he did it on that show. Like I'll be doing that to Valerie all the time. The way he's like, I got hit by Alexis. You know the way he does that? I think it's so funny when you sing things. So yeah, I love him.
Funny. Obviously, fan favorite, I guess, Jim Carrey as Dr. Eggman. So they had a pretty stacked cast. Kristen Ritter as Director Rockwell. I realized right away, I was like, dude, that girl looks so familiar. And
pleasant surprise, very pleasant surprise.
She's obviously from Breaking Bad. Jane, right?
Mm-hmm. Jane, and she's also Jessica Jones.
Oh, really? Jessica Jones? I didn't know she did that.
Yeah. Bro, that Marvel series with her, we could do a whole episode on
Jessica
that.
Jessica Jones?
I think out of all the Marvel series that Marvel released under Netflix, Jessica Jones was the best one.
Who is she, anyways? I don't even know Jessica Jones is.
She's like a private investigator girl who has like, she doesn't have Superman super strength. She more kind of has like Captain America super strength, and she could jump really high. But she's also like, she's just a drunk,
And Jessica Jones?
She's a bit of a slob. Yeah, she's a bit of a slob, drunk, doesn't like people. She plays it like perfectly. So, but I mean, yeah, that whole show, plot and everything, amazing.
I think my favorite cameo in this whole movie, the Cristo Fernandez from Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
Bro, like he just be popping up in the randomest things, bro. I swear. He popped up in the new Venom movie, and I was like,
he did?
Yeah, he was in Venom 2 actually at the end, the bartender. And then they brought him back in Venom 3.
Oh, wow.
Again as the bartender, but he had like a little bit of a bigger role in the third one. Not massive, but they showed his character a lot more. So
that's funny.
I always just think of Football is Life. Like every time I see his
Football is Life,
his face, he's always so happy. So it was funny seeing him. But
yeah, he always does that like extra acting.
But you said Andrew showed you the Sonic X episode, right? Afterwards,
he showed me the
clip,
scene.
right? Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
shout out Andrew, because he, before we went to go watch the movie, he was just playing it in the living room, and I was watching. I was just like, you know, watching it, and it was a Shadow episode where Shadow gets introduced, and there was like, just whatever they were showing in the episode, and then you go into the movie, and bro, I don't want to say they ripped off the show, but it was literally like the show again. So
Like shot for shot
so many
almost.
shot for shots. I was like, dude, they did that in the show. They did that in the show. We didn't get to finish all the series, so like when I got back home, I finished the Sonic X series, and I just saw so many like similarities. But I've been
So when it comes to like TV shows for Sonic or video games, like what was your exposure?
I'd say like I remember watching the shows. Like I think I watched Sonic X. Like I just don't remember too much about Sonic X. And then I used to watch. I don't know if you ever watched these type of videos, but it was like people that would play with stuffed animals and like make them talk and like make them fight.
Oh, like do little
Yeah, but
shorts
they
or
would be like
something?
funny, and like I would follow one where it was like Shadow, and then he just had like a gun in his hand, but it was like a stuffed animal Shadow. So like
Uh,
a bunch of random Sonic stuff, and then I play my first Sonic game ever was Sonic Unleashed on the Wii, which was my first ever game on the Wii. We got the Wii and we got like 5 games with them and Sonic Unleashed.
lucky bastard.
So
Lucky
I don't.
bastard. That was the one Sonic game I always wanted to
I
play. To this day, I'm like, I might get it.
dude,
I have a
I remember
360.
nothing from it besides him just turning into a werewolf, and like that's it. And I think I was stuck on a level and I couldn't beat it, and I probably stopped playing because of that.
You just
Yeah, I just
rage
stopped
quit?
playing. I played something else.
Wow. You didn't YouTube anything, bro? I would have been YouTubing a walkthrough. I would have
I
done.
don't even know if YouTube was around back then, like that deep.
Bro, YouTube wasn't
Bro,
around.
I was like a 6-year-old when I was playing that game.
Oh, true.
So you
I
were a
was,
bit older.
a couple
Yeah,
years.
you're grown by then. You're
Yeah.
already 10, bro. You're peaking.
I was YouTubing walkthroughs when I couldn't figure
Was
out
YouTube around
levels
back then in
and stuff.
2008? Okay, I guess 2007.
Yeah,
I just don't know if people dropping walkthroughs back then.
for sure.
Really?
Like for sure they were. Yeah.
Okay, then yeah. So yeah,
I remember looking them up because I religiously played that Sonic 2006 game. I know if anybody's listening to this, they're probably like disgusted because that game, I found out afterwards, like there's so many things in my life, dude, where afterwards I find out like, oh, people hated that? Like people religiously hated that? Like I love the prequels for Star Wars, and not till later in my life did I find out that people like hated those movies. Same with Batman and Robin, and then like just a couple years ago, I found out that people hated the Sonic 2006 game, which is justified because I tried playing it again and it was unbearable. Like I remember Abraham, he put the disc in because he was so excited to like revisit it. I swear to God, he spent like 5 minutes and was like, "Yeah, no," and he just put it down and never picked it back up again because it was so unplayable.
does that change your opinion on the game because you heard like, oh, this game's so bad, and then you're like going into it with that mindset like it's bad, or is it just actually bad?
I actually went back into it with the mindset like, the fuck do they think they're talking about? Like that game was awesome, and then I put it back in. I'm like, this is like,
I understand why it's bad.
I was pretty desperate. Yeah, I was pretty desperate for games. So like, I did not notice. I could spend all night on like a glitch. Like if the game was glitching out, I would like competitively spend all night on that one level trying to out glitch the game until I could pass that level. And to me, that was just like gaming. Like that was part of the gaming experience. But now, as an adult with limited time,
Limited
I don't got
time.
time for that. Yeah, I don't got time for those glitchy levels. But if they remastered that game, I would play
So
it.
would
any
you
day.
say Sonic was like a big part of your childhood? Because I know you said Mario wasn't, but like I feel like
It was a big part of my childhood for a short period of time because I religiously watched Sonic X, but I don't remember anything. I just remember some plant girl. I remember the way the voices sounded. Like, yeah, like some plant leaf girl that they
Oh
need to
yeah,
save.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But I've forgot all of it. So going in, I didn't have expectations of like they better do the pose. They better do the Shadow Sonic pose. If they don't, I'm walking out. Like I didn't have any expectations for this movie.
Okay, so what did you think about all the shadow fight scenes in the movie, bro? Because I thought they were pretty awesome.
I loved the way you can tell it was his like move set from the video games. Like I felt like as if I was pressing X on a controller and he was doing like spin kick, Y, uppercut, spin kick right, spin kick left, teleport. Like it literally felt like I was watching a video game, but like in the best way because it just looks so like similar, like the movement. I loved how faithful they were to the movement of all of that with Shadow, especially like the skating, the way he runs, all that just was like spot on. What about you?
Oh, so you wouldn't have rather been playing the game instead of watching?
No, because they made it way more cinematic. I've never seen a cut scene. I've never seen a cut scene like this.
Okay, fine. So we saw it in Dolby and it looked amazing, especially because I saw it like a few days later in just regular. So I was able to.
Oh, so you were able to tell?
Bro, I took some pictures actually because I was like, yo, what? The colors just felt like if there was like a weird filter over it and like it dulled it back.
Like a gray filter
like a weird like blur or something. And
yeah.
So especially with this one where like Shadow looks so clean and like that opening scene where he's like standing above Knuckles in them, or when he's inside the little container, like he just looks like so real. I don't know. And yeah, I saw it a few days later and I immediately saw the difference. So I'm glad my first time was in Dolby because everything was awesome. The music, freaking hype, bro. Like skipping to the freaking end already, the freaking fight scene with Shadow and Sonic when the music was playing, living, like, bro, that dude, I swear, goosebumps, bro. Even when I saw it the second time, still goosebumps because that song went so hard.
I know that scene like is really good because I had no idea that they were using like music that has been attached to Shadow and Sonic, or that they did like the same pose from the video game. But like without knowing that, I was still hyped through those scenes and like enjoying myself the whole time.
Fight scene was like, I was watching, I was like, yo, why is this like the most badass like fight scene ever? They like used their whole budget on just those. Even the first fight scene where it's like Sonic and Shadow like running through Tokyo and the bike, like even that was like, that's a small taste of what comes later. Like they go freaking Super Saiyan mode, running like pew, 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 pew. It's,
I know, hitting each other to different continents. I will never get tired of seeing fast characters move fast. Like anybody who moves fast on screen for some reason, it's the most entertaining like action ever every time. Any character that
did you know that song was used in other games, like watching it the first time, or did you learn?
I didn't actually, because I never played the original Shadow game or anything like that. So like I didn't have any nostalgia when it came to the music or anything like that.
Funny thing, that song is actually in some controversy right now.
Why?
The artist, I don't know what the artist name is, but basically he wrote that song for, I think,
is it getting canceled?
No, not canceled, for Sonic and Shadow something generate. I don't know what the game was called, where that song originated from. And basically Sega just used that song for multiple projects. Like it was literally used in Smash Bros. So there's like,
oh, and they're not paying him or what?
So he didn't even realize that his song was being used in multiple projects. I saw the number. They said 80 different projects. I think that's a little exaggerated, but basically they were using his
That's
song
insane.
and so many things and not giving him
I don't even like this movie anymore.
canceled.
Like, I'm just
So
playing.
I get, and
Yeah,
the only way he
boycott.
found out was because, especially they asked him again, like, "Hey, can you use it for this new Sonic movie?" And he's like, "I guess." And then they're like, "Wait a minute!" And he like found out that they're using it in so many other projects. So he's suing them. He's saying like, you owe me like 500K every time you've used it." Um,
I feel like it would be kind of funny if like he said no and he goes to the theater, he's like,
watches it.
they better not use my song, and he makes it to the
He's like,
end.
"What the
It's like, fuck,
But like,
what the
so
fuck?
like that's where I'm like, do you think that's valid? Is that valid? Is that a valid sue?
100%, bro. They have Nintendo, especially.
Sega.
They 100% have the money, or Sega, 100% have the money to pay that man. Like, they're not like what?
Okay.
What do they benefit besides just being a greedy bitch by
What
not
about
not paying him?
okay, I hire you to draw me a logo. Now do I have to pay you every time that
Yes.
that's not how it works though. If you draw me a logo, I pay you and then it's mine. Like the lady who drew the Nike logo, she doesn't get paid every time they put a Nike logo on a t-shirt.
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Really? That
You're telling me Nike shouldn't, like, this billion-dollar corporation shouldn't pay this woman some money?
well, they
Like,
did pay her
She
some money.
literally designed it.
They paid it and they paid this guy too. I think he's having and this is why I think he's gonna lose this lawsuit, is because they commissioned this song for him. They they told him, hey, we need this song. He made the song for them. At that point, it becomes their property. Just like Star Wars, right? Like that guy, they commissioned him to create the whole soundtrack, and then is he just
Well, I guess if you get into semantics on like what contract he signed, but if he wants to fight for more, bro, like go for it. Like go down swinging, go get your money.
Yeah.
Like Sega, if he won $40 million, it's not going to even hurt Sega,
Yeah.
because the CEOs for that company are still going to pay themselves whatever they need to be paid. So they're just going to fight it because they're greedy shills. But get your money. I'm on the artist side. You got to be on the artist side every time. Get your money for. He personally got so many Sonic fans hyped,
did though?
supposedly, for the song that I don't even
went
remember.
hard. Living fun just tomorrow. Like, bro, that song went hard. I sent it to you. Like when I saw it the second night, I sent you the song.
Oh, you
I was
did?
like, bro, this song is fire. Because the first time I was like, just watching the movie, didn't really whatever. But the second time, the song just hit kind of harder, and it felt really, really satisfying to just. Especially the first time in Dolby, it's so loud in there. I didn't realize how loud it is
Compared to like a
yeah,
regular.
because it was like
theater.
night and day. I saw it with you guys on Sunday. I saw it again on like Wednesday, Thursday. So it was like a few days later, and night and day, you could tell. So, yeah,
Yeah, Dolby, especially because there's so much contrast in the colors in Sonic, because you'll get like bright blues and then the dark blacks and yellows with shadow. Like it's kind of like a, what do they call it? They call it like a home and theater enthusiasts. Oh, they have like a demo. It's called like a demo disc for like their equipment.
demo for what?
Like if I have a super nice OLED with a great Blu-ray player and incredible speakers, they'll consider some discs like this is demo content, as in if I'm trying to show off my stuff, this one will have the brightest colors, the deepest blacks, the best sound, all that.
Yeah.
I definitely say I don't know about the disc, but like this is a demo looking type movie.
Bro, is it like, at least for me, like I feel like I like Shadow more than Sonic, right? And
Controversial
wait,
take. I'm being sarcastic. Big take over here.
Bro, yeah, I'm gonna break the internet with that take.
You like the darker Batman. I know you like the darker Batman
And that's
character.
what I was gonna say, bro.
Crazy.
Like, why does everyone like tend to lean towards that? Like, you know, everyone likes like the Sasuke and the Megumis, like
Yeah, I
like
know.
the dark
Yeah.
bad boys, but you like the Anakins, like, you know, like you feel for them, but it's like, dude, they're also like usually the most OP character. Like, they always have some tragic.
They're just the cool
they have a
ones.
tragic backstory. You feel for them. It's like, it's not their fault, bro. Like, so I don't know. Shadow in this movie, especially voiced by Keanu Reeves, like I thought he did a pretty good job of like
Same. I felt like he fit Shadow just like they couldn't have gotten anyone better, in my opinion.
I was just thinking when I was writing my notes, I was like, bro, Keanu Reeves in Wicked, John Wick, has like the same backstory as Shadow. Like,
Really?
well, if you think about it, right, like Shadow and John Wick, good guys, right? I guess John Wick's a murderer, whatever, forget that. But, you know, they're just chill guys. And then someone close to them dies, right? Shadow, Maria, Keanu, his dog in the first one. And then they're like, all right, I'm killing everybody. And they just kill everybody. And so it's just so funny that he plays like the exact same character in the Sonic movie. But
that is
also,
he's good at it. He's good at it at this point in his career.
Did you know a lot about the like Maria backstory, like going into this one?
Honestly, no, because the Sonic game I played and Sonic X, I just didn't remember Sonic X. So like, but I was okay with that because since I knew from like comments and things like that, I knew that they were going to be doing his main backstory from when he was like introduced. I was like, okay, I'll just see, you know, how I'm okay going in blind. So
yeah, like he has.
Did you know that, like, his story going in?
I didn't know his backstory. I knew he had like a girl best friend named Maria. Like, that's as far as I knew. But then after watching the movie and then watching the show again, they do kind of have that same backstory with the Maria girl. Actually, the game, I think, where Shadow was introduced also inspired the Sonic X episode. So that's kind of why they have similar stories.
Okay.
Like, but
they're just keeping the main canon.
Yeah, timeline, I guess. Yeah. And that makes me like Shadow more because he's like a roller skater. And in the movie, she's like roller skating through the halls. And that's kind of how he moves roller skating. I was like, okay, that's nice. I like how they kind of sync him. Okay.
Incorporated that.
I want to talk about my one gripe with the movie.
Oh, you have a gripe.
Jim Carrey. Worst actor ever. No, but I
was like, no way. I was ready to throw down for Jim Carrey, bro. I was ready to throw down for him.
Bro, but I don't know why when I see Jim Carrey, I just like I liked his grandpa in this movie, okay? Because his grandpa was chill.
Okay.
His grandpa wasn't making the freaking standard Jim Carrey faces and Jim Carrey makes like the same 5 faces in all his movies and people think that's funny. Like, I don't know.
I can't believe I'm hearing some Jim Carrey criticisms. Don't you love like Adam Sandler movies?
I like them. I'm not saying.
Oh, okay. You're talking about the same actor.
Bro, I'm not saying he's the funniest guy in comedy, though. And that's what I swear everyone's saying about Jim Carrey. Like, Jim Carrey is so funny. I'm like, Jim Carrey is not funny. Like, he makes faces.
What?
And I'm like, how is that funny?
You think that's all his comedy is just the faces?
Yes. He makes goofy faces and people are like, that's hilarious. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, that's not funny. So, and like his Eggman in this one, like after watching some Sonic X and understanding Eggman a little more, and Eggman is
oh yeah, he's nothing like I don't think he's an accurate Eggman like at all.
But he's like really. Eggman in the show was like a little goofy. Like he still was kind of like I don't want to say slow, but like, he wasn't like in this movie I was like, he's so over exaggerated, but then, I'm like, okay, it kind of fits, but still I was just taken out of every moment when I saw Jim Carrey as Eggman because I'm like, this this is just trying so hard to like make people laugh or be like, oh, this is classic Jim Carrey. Like, this is Jim Carrey from The Mask, Jim Carrey's Grinch with, oh my, and I'm like, no, it's a stretch. So,
Wow.
but I liked his grandpa because his grandpa was chill.
Horrible take.
His grandpa was chill in this movie. His grandpa was over the top. He wasn't making dumb faces. Like, he was pretty serious. Even his like.
So the whole time you're like, bro, bring it down a lot.
Exactly.
A notch. Like you didn't like it.
Exactly, bro. Yes, I was like, bring it down. That's too much. That's not even like funny.
I disagree. I completely disagree.
Bro, what was a funny scene? Funny scene. Oh, I need some room.
Every
that was
scene.
Not funny. That was not funny at all.
Every scene. When he's slapping his stomach before he turns around, whenever he's like getting changed his new outfit and then he rips it off the guy.
Cringe.
The dancing scenes. That is not, bro, that is hilarious.
What? No, that is not funny. That's just like that.
I don't think you know comedy, bro. I don't think you.
That's like comedy to make like a child laugh. Like, oh, I'm gonna play a fart noise, and that's hilarious. Like, that's like fifth grade humor. Like, that's what Jim Carrey is.
Okay,
fifth grade humor.
Okay, how about this? Here's the thing, though. Tell me any other actor, right, who uses his body to make people laugh, or faces, or actually like puts in, like utilizes 100% of what he's got to in order to bring out a laugh, or even, you know, make a character off of that. You know, I just think that what he does.
Jack Black. You cannot tell me Jack Black is not in the same way of he makes funny faces, he's loud, you know, he is kind of chubby, he makes
so would you have the same criticism for Jack Black? All he does is the that's all he does.
No, because Jack Black,
would you have the
Jack
same
Black
criticism for him?
And he does different things. Jim Carrey plays like the same character in every movie. I'm gonna make funny faces, I'm gonna be loud, I'm gonna show my teeth, and that's it. And like every movie he does that. You cannot tell me in every movie he doesn't make the same
even
face.
After you name Jack Black, though.
Okay,
even after you name Jack Black, there's still very few people, because again, you're pulling an actor, right, who has been in the business probably as long as Jim Carrey, maybe not as long, but there's no like modern actors or even comedy actors, I think, who bring anything to the table like that. Like, it's just, you know, he's the only one doing stuff like that besides Jack Black.
Funny?
Or who can even pull it off? Who else do you think could even remotely?
It's hard. There's not that many like comedy actors out there, you know, like another like some bad ones that come to mind is like Kevin Hart. Like, Kevin Hart is funny, but he, like, if you're trying to have the criteria of uses his body, like, I wouldn't, you know, say Kevin Hart. But Kevin Hart's pretty funny. He plays like, you know, kind of a similar character, but I think Kevin Hart's actually funny, and his jokes are like for adults.
No way. He doesn't even write his movie jokes. Are you talking about stand-up? Because his movies aren't he doesn't write his movies.
Who writes the movies, bro? What?
Look it up. Well, what do you mean who writes it? There's writers.
Exactly. Why would Kevin Hart write the movie? What?
Exactly. So what does he bring into the table?
The delivery, you know, like he delivers the line.
That's what he brings to the table.
Yes. That's funny. So, I mean, I'm not saying Jim Carrey is bad. Like, I'm not saying, you know, whatever. I just don't think, I think people are hyping him up. That's just all I'm saying. I'm like, he's overhyped is my opinion on him.
Okay, well, here's my perspective.
Okay.
I actually I swear to God, I had the same exact opinion where I'm like, for him and Adam Sandler, right? I just never found them funny, where they kind of play the same character. Like, it's really funny that you bring this up, because I just never found their type of comedy to be funny. Like, when people watch Billy Madison, I tried watching it. To this day, I don't think I've finished that movie, because I'm just like, I find this type of humor to be ridiculous and like stupid and just not funny. And I thought the same thing with Jim Carrey. But since we are literally in a like comedy movie drought. I'm sure there's some funny movies out there,
Yeah.
but we don't get comedy movies all the time like we used to back in the day, like Step Brothers, Super Bad,
Yeah, exactly.
fucking 21 Jump Street. So yeah, all this classic stuff. So now, because we're in a drought, even though I do agree with you, like I just don't find that stuff funny. And now when I see it, I can't help but be like, you know what? Like I feel like I need this type of movie or this type of humor, because we get only like very specific types of things now, where I want someone to just freaking let loose, like just go, like just be yourself the way Jim Carrey is or the way Adam Sandler is. Because now the other day Valerie was like begging me to watch, because she loves those freaking rom-com movies with Adam Sandler. Like, you know how he has like so many Netflix movies? I like dread watching those, but every time she puts them on, I'm actually like laughing, and I'm like, you know what? I'm like, we need these types of movies to be out there. We can't all only have artistic, pretentious stuff, or money hungry blockbuster type movies. Like, we need Adam Sandler's and Jim Carrey's in the world. So
what I'm hearing is you like Adam Sandler.
Maybe.
That's all I need to hear, because
yeah, I do.
Okay,
I do.
good.
I do now. I appreciate him. I don't like him that much, but I do appreciate him, Jim Carrey. Like, those guys obviously bring something to the table that like nobody else can, or I don't think will bring, like, ever again.
Bro, I don't think you were there, but we're all in your parents' living room, right? Like, everybody, right? And I'm dogging on Jim Carrey, and everyone's like, "What?
No way.
And then Caitlin outs me, right? She's like, "This guy likes Adam Sandler," and then
she said the same thing as me,
bro. And then tell me why. Your mom goes, "Adam Sandler sucks," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm not sharing my opinions no more." Because, and everyone loved Jim Carrey,
so
and I was
funny.
just like, am I wrong for not finding him funny? And I like that you mentioned, like, back in the day, right? Because Adam Sandler and Jim Carrey are both, actors from back in the day that, are still making movies today. Well, I guess Jim Carrey not as much, but still, I think Adam Sandler evolved, right? He does write his own movies. He writes.
No way, he did not evolve.
What, Adam Sandler? He has like an 8-movie Netflix deal.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
No,
like, you think his acting evolved, or like his career?
Acting involved.
Bro,
Adam Sandler?
Tell me one comedy movie where Adam Sandler isn't secretly a really good guy. Like, he comes off like he's either dating Drew Barrymore or Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
Or Jennifer Aniston, and then they warm up to him, and it turns out he's an incredible man by the end of the movie.
Okay, he does date Jennifer Aniston a lot, but here's what I was saying. Like, Adam Sandler, those movies were good back in the day. Jim Carrey's, maybe for the time, was good, but like, Jim Carrey's still the same guy today. Like, he doesn't change. Adam Sandler, at least, went into some different roles. Uncut Gem, like, completely different role.
Oh,
like,
okay, no. This is an off take. Because I've seen several movies with Jim Carrey where he steps out of the comedy role and does like drama. Like, have you
Mr.
never
Popper's Penguins?
Have you never heard of? No, have you never heard of what movies, bro? Where did you have that in your back pocket ready to go?
I just know he's.
What is that?
I just had when I was younger, I had a book about that movie, and freaking Jim Carrey was in it. So.
Okay, no, I was gonna bring up movies like Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Have you never heard of that one?
I haven't heard of that one.
That is one of my favorite movies where we got to do an episode on that one, honestly, because The Truman Show, that's an extremely critically acclaimed movie where he doesn't play the same type of character.
That one's not a comedy, though. Like, I know it's a serious topic, but it's still like lighthearted.
The Truman Show?
Yeah. It's not like a super
It's
serious.
comedy, but it's not comedy from him playing an eccentric character. You know, the comedy comes from the situation. So I feel like he can't be judged. Like he doesn't bring the same type of person or comedy into that movie. That's more like he elevates the material, in my opinion. But that one and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is one of my favorite movies, like especially romantic movies. It's so good. I highly recommend that one. Yeah, we got to do an episode on that one, but he didn't branch out maybe as many times as Adam Sandler, because I know Adam Sandler has Punch Drunk Love, which is also an incredibly well done romantic movie that is actually on the Criterion collection that I was telling you about.
Does Jim Carrey have any Criterion movies?
Don't quote me on that. I haven't checked.
He's not good enough to have one. That's why.
Oh my gosh. Okay, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind should be in the Criterion collection.
But
I'm checking right now, bro. I can't let you disrespect this man like that.
I guess just my one gripe is like how you said, eccentric character. He does have to play like an out of this world character in his movies. Like no one was making, like he was the goofiest in the Sonic movie. Like every other person in that movie was like a normal human being. No one was like like just doing the craziest things to like, you know, laugh. And it feels like cheap comedy, and that's the only reason I'm like, I get like that some people might find it funny, just like how some people find a fart scene funny. Like I get it, but it's like it's like okay, like it's cheap.
I don't think that's okay, but here's the thing. I feel like the entire movie, there were several times where they're getting cheap laughs. Like I don't think it would be a stretch to say that this movie's type of comedy is really childish, especially with like Sonic and everything.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I liked his grandpa. Like I was saying, like his grandpa's character, I actually liked. Like he seemed evil. You know, the beginning part when they introduced him, I thought it was really funny. And then yeah, at the end they made him all evil, and you just kind of like, I didn't see Jim Carrey, even though I knew that was Jim Carrey. Like I didn't see that was Jim Carrey.
Yeah, like he was definitely a different character. Yeah. Like he even brought a different type of humor.
Yeah. So I like that character. So I think that comedy was a little bit more funnier to me than his Dr. Eggman in this.
Yeah.
Did you see if that movie was on there?
Which one?
The Eternal Sunshine?
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, I knew it.
Shut up. You don't even know what the Criterion collection is. Don't even.
Bro, what are you talking about?
Truman Show and Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind should be in the Criterion collection.
The one thing the only thing I for sure remembered from Sonic X that was different in this movie was the Chaos Emerald. I remember it being massive, right? I remember it being this big old thing.
Like one giant emerald?
Yeah, it was like this big old thing that Knuckles would lug around. And when they showed it, I was like, why is it so tiny? Like, it's like freaking, you hold it in your hand. And I was like, that's not comic accurate right there. Like, come on, guys.
Comic accurate.
That's my one thing where I was like, all right.
The size of you wanted a giant ass emerald that
I thought that would have been,
couldn't fit through a door. You wanted it to not fit through the door.
Yeah, I thought that would have been more funny. But what'd you think about the end scenes though? The end credit Amy Metal Sonic scene? Like, were you hype when those characters popped up?
I was not at all. I was more like, eh.
Really?
Bro,
not a fan, bro.
Give me Silver. I don't give a fuck about no robot or Amy. You just gave me Shadow. I want to see Silver now, bro.
Was Silver? Isn't he like a time traveler or something?
He might be.
I feel like Amy was way more necessary to the plot than freaking Silver.
What does Amy bring to the table?
I was hyped when I saw Amy. I was like, hell yes, bro.
Oh my god, yes, a hammer. Yes.
Bro, because I was like, I thought they were going to bring her out during this movie, like, you know, a surprise cameo. And And they showed her at the end. I was like, yes, this next movie is gonna be freaking bomb. So I was hyped. And Metal Sonic, he looks so scary. I don't know too much about Metal Sonic, but I know he's like an evil Sonic. So I'm hyped for the next movie. And
Well, yeah, I'm not. I'll definitely watch it, but my expectation was like, you just dropped Shadow, you gotta drop Silver. You know,
really,
like I'm just saying, going from Shadow to Amy, that is a downgrade. That's not an upgrade.
But Amy and Metal Sonic, it's a twofer.
You think them together equal Shadow?
I mean, Shadow's like, he's like.
That's what I'm saying. It's a downgrade. Like, okay, I feel like if you dropped Silver, that's equal to Shadow. Where I'm like, bet, because he doesn't bring in. It would introduce a third element. Like, I feel like a robot Sonic is just going to be another fast character, like fast robot. But if you introduce Silver, he has like the telekinesis, which is actually like a problem for Shadow and Sonic, because if he just grabs them while they're trying to run, like their speed is like worthless. So I felt like it would have been a cool element to introduce, but I'm not gonna like hate the next movie. It's just what I was expecting.
So people are saying that the end credit scene with, so there's two, right? The Amy scene and then the Shadow scene, the one that we missed because we left the theaters early. But there's the end credit scene where Shadow picks up his ring, and they're saying he's gonna get a standalone movie. What do you think about that? What if they introduce Silver in that movie? Because I know Shadow,
that would be cool.
Because Shadow has like his own kind of world where it's like, I don't know if it's called the Rogues or something. It's like the Crocodile guy and all those guys. Like, he kind of like fights.
Oh yeah. Like, he has his own like aesthetic. Of like characters and villains.
Yeah. So I think that would be pretty badass. A Shadow movie would, but then again, I don't know, because you know how people say Darth Vader, if he were to get his own standalone movie, it'd be like kind of destroying, I don't want to say the reputation, but like the aura that these characters bring. It's like you only get glimpses of them, so those glimpses that you get are so like impactful, versus like if you were to get like, you know, a 12 episode series on Darth Vader, it's like, Darth Vader again. Like, what his aura.
I would agree with that. As in, like, I just think you need to give him some time. Like, maybe do give him a movie, but don't jump the gun where you're like, just you flood like the media with Shadow content. Like, don't, because then that will come off as like you're milking him. Like, don't milk Shadow dry.
Yeah.
Let him, because imagine if they like drop 3 projects in a row and they're all like just average or like just not incredible. It's like, you already gave him an incredible movie. Let's keep the streak going. Let's let his reputation be good.
Yeah, so I wonder what they're gonna do with Shadow, because I don't know if he joins like the main cast and joins Team Sonic and all that. So I really wonder what they're gonna do for this next movie. Maybe like, I hope they don't do like A plot, B plot, where it's like A plot's Sonic team, B plot's Shadow team, because I don't know. They need to do him justice.
Adventure.
So I think we covered most things. Now to talk about the nitty gritty, bro.
Nitty gritty.
From 1 out of 10 golden rings. What?
Golden Sonic rings.
Golden Sonic
Bling.
rings. What are you gonna give Sonic 3?
Just because you disrespected the Jim Carrey?
Mid Carrey?
Wow. Stop the pod.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Stop the pod. Yeah.
We're officially breaking up after 6 episodes.
That was my last straw, bro. You were on thin ice, buddy.
That was your 13th reason?
Yeah. Okay. Out of 10, blah, blah, blah. So I would say 7 out of 10.
Seven.
7 Sonic rings out of 10.
Really? What brought it down from like a 9 or even an 8?
So I just like we were talking about earlier, I just do think some of the type of comedy and even things in the beginning, like the plot, I mean, not that it's too childish, but it just comes off as a little corny or not all of it hit.
Yeah.
You know, because I don't, even though I love the guy who does the voice of Sonic, I actually don't think he fits Sonic, you know? Like, he's always like, yeah, he's kind of nothing like he is in the video games. He's like, I'm doing this race again. Like, he's super high pitched, like hyper ADD child, like 5-year-old. And it's just not, it doesn't always come off as the best content to me. But I still think it's an extremely solid 7 out of 10. Like, it's not a lazy 7 out of 10. There's a ton of content in this movie that I loved and that I would revisit. So it's not a 7 out of 10 in a negative way at all. I just don't think it's like, you know, the greatest movie ever, but it is an extremely fun, entertaining movie.
No, it's a respectable it's average. That's like a solid movie.
Yeah, it's above average.
Yeah.
What about you? What's your rating?
1 out of 10 Sonic rings.
Yeah, Sonic rings.
Dude,
if I knocked you on the head right now, how many Sonic rings would pop out from?
Right now, bro. If you were to knock me out, how many Sonic rings would pop out? Dude, I really liked it. I think it was really funny. I honestly am gonna give it like an 8.7 Sonic rings. So I'm gonna break off some of the rings and keep a 7th of it.
Okay.
I thought it was like the beginning part. I really did not like the whole beginning part. Right when they introduce Shadow up until the end, I think it's engaging and awesome. Like, there's no more dead parts. The beginning part is kind of cringy to me. Like,
like the party scene or whatever, like with the family. Like, that's kind of what I'm. I get you.
I don't know what they call it, but like the most trailer lines, like that line where you know, they're talking to the general. It's Shadow, Tails, and not Shadow, Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles. They're talking in that restaurant, you know, the one. And then he delivers like, Sonic, where you found family, Shadow had nobody. And I'm like, bro, that's the most...
Oh, yeah. Like lazy exposition.
Yeah, like you know they're using that for the trailer, and they just threw it in on that scene. I was like, okay, that is not good. So...
Exactly. That's kind of exactly why I bring it down to like a 7, because I'm like, that's obviously like, you could have done better. Like, come on, you guys are Hollywood writers.
Yeah,
you could have said anything else.
Yeah, but I love the music. Freaking Live and Learn's a banger, bro. Something I realized the second time they played it is in the beginning when they're giving Shadow's backstory with Maria. They play that song Live and Learn on a guitar. And it's like very subtle, but it's in the back.
Oh, like a classic guitar?
It's like, they're just strumming the notes, and it's like so soft, and it's in the back. I'm like, oh yeah, that sounded so good when I watched it the second time.
Pay the man.
No, I'm on team Pay the Man. Come on, guys, what are y'all doing? So I think the music's good. The fight scene's awesome. Sonic classic, you know, character that, you know, that they did him justice, like compared to like other live actions that they brought. Obviously, like another top, you know, live action that they brought to movies besides the Mario movie. Like, it's another good one. Better than it's like on the same par as the Mario movie. I would agree. But yeah, like I really like it, and I would watch it again. Honestly, I watch it with my family, like, and that's why I think it's good, because I think you could always rewatch it and, you know, have a good time. So
that's a good metric for judging a movie is kind of the rewatchability, especially a superhero movie or like a video game movie. But yeah, I would say this movie exceeded expectations.
Yeah, it was hyped. It was hyped. Okay, bro, are you ready for what we're going to be watching for next week's episode?
Lay it on me.
I know you've told me in the past, you know, one of your top two, maybe top three superheroes of all time is Spider-Man. And so I feel like it's only right to like get more immersed in the Spider-Man universe. And so next week we're going to be watching the critically acclaimed 2024 Madam
No.
Web.
No.
I'm actually kind of I'm excited to watch it. I want to see what they do. Like I didn't know there was like girls Spider-Man besides like from in the Spider-Verse. So
So have you like do you know who Madam Web is, like from the comics or anything like that?
no idea.
Bro, okay, let me just give you a little rant real quick because I've never seen the
Lordo?
movie. So, yeah, a little lordum. So, one Spider-Man content I grew up on was Spider-Man the animated series from 1992, I think, or 95. Classic, amazing series. Is critically acclaimed, loved by all Spider-Man fans. And so, Madam Web is this kind of like a godly character who's always talking to Spider-Man and intervening with him and having like his every time he's going through like an existential crisis or something, she's like this like godly type of character who like speaks to him, and she's just this old white lady who, I don't know, I think sometimes she can tell the future and she'll like tell him like what he needs to be, what he doesn't need to be, and stuff like that. And so she's just this lady who sits on a chair in a big web, and so that's all she is usually in the comics and in the TV shows. And then Sony announces we're gonna do a Madam Web movie, and I'm just like, what the hell? Like, what? Like, I would be surprised. Like, what about what? She's just gonna sit in a fucking chair for like an hour and a half? Like, I'm not gonna watch that. And so
Yes,
basically,
you are.
oh my gosh. So basically, they all this bullshit they pulled, bro. I think it's like
Uh-huh.
most of it's like Sony original. So it's not even
Yeah.
like
It's not
comic,
canon.
like yeah, it's not canon. It's nothing nobody ever wanted. Nobody asked for this. Nobody wanted it. It's not a movie that needed to be made. If you were to erase it from existence, I would. If you had a button that could do that, even not seeing the film, I would do it. I would click it in a heartbeat. They're like, oh, this erases Madam Web. Boom, done.
Okay, so she plays. It's kind of like if they were to make a movie about, you know, that one guy who can see all the dimensions. I forgot what his name is. In Marvel, it's like a godly character, and then they kind of make them a earthly character.
Yeah, like
They-
literally, like, oh, let's try to expand upon this. I'm just like, fuck that. Like, it makes
I
no
want to see
sense.
Spider-Man stuff. That's like my one thing that I just like seeing, you know, webs and swinging and the fight scenes.
Well,
So
you know, the main thing that these types of movies do is like they don't do anything like that till the very end.
they save the budget for the end.
Yeah, they're like, oh, they have to earn it.
Okay, well,
So I heard that these people don't even get suits or anything like that to the
what?
like after the movie's over.
No.
Then it's like, oh, we went through our trials and tribulations. Now we earned the suit, and then you get like, 30 seconds of them in it, and then the movie ends.
Okay, that's not at all what I thought was this movie.
So you thought it was gonna be a full movie of like Spider Women and stuff? That would
Yeah.
actually be decently cool.
Yeah,
But
that's what
I'm pretty sure
I
that's not
thought
what
that.
it is.
Oh my god. Okay, now I have different
Yeah.
expectations going into it.
Now you're like, fuck, I already chose this movie.
But I know you didn't see this movie, and it has to do something with Spider-Man. So I'm like, okay, it's gonna be different. Let's see what it's about.
Yeah. Well, we can't only watch good movies, so
Dude, this is critically acclaimed, bro. What reviews are you reading?
I just sent you a picture of what I always knew Madam Web to look like and be. She's just this old lady in a chair, and I don't know why it's not going through, but I want you to see what I always knew her to be.
Okay. Real quick, let's throw in a quick little new segment for the podcast. This is gonna be our anime of the week. What we've been watching. I know you just watched Sakamoto Days, manga that we
I didn't get to finish that episode.
What a
actually.
loser, bro.
No, I didn't get to finish.
Okay, well, I got to finish it, guys, and all I gotta say is I'm excited for these next episodes because Anthony put me on this manga like, I think a year ago. Like it's been a minute, and I binged like 50. Same thing with Kaiju number 8. Just like binged like 40-ish chapters.
Bro,
And
I have a bone to pick with you. You be dropping mangas left and right.
I do be dropping them, bro. I do be.
I know you gotta cross the finish line.
Dude, that's my third drop manga. Because
you're like on the edge of like peak, bro. You're right there.
I stopped reading Sakamoto Days. I stopped reading Kingdom. I stopped reading. I think that's it. Actually,
One Punch Man.
Was it? Oh, I was reading it a bit, but
yeah, you were. No, you
yeah.
were.
Oh
you were,
no, wait. Yeah, did I finish? No, I didn't.
You were
finish
in
it.
that.
Yeah, I did read a lot of it actually. Yeah, you're right. I did.
I remember you saw the main fights that Garo went through, like after.
Oh yeah.
After he was captured by the Monster Association.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Good reminder, bro. I forgot about those scenes.
Yeah, pick it back up.
Might have to, but definitely if y'all haven't heard or know anything about Sakamoto Days, it's pretty like I don't know. I think it's kind of different from like what's out there. I bet there's a bunch of shit out there that's probably different, but this one's pretty cool. John Wick vibe, assassins, but
yeah, definitely.
The main guy is just freaking OP. Like I love me a good OP character, bro.
It's always the best.
So. Yeah, that's the anime of the week, manga of the week. If you want to read it, I think it's.
So, chill. What would you rate the first episode, like just on animation stuff like that?
It was chill, and like too crazy. Like if I were to compare it to like another anime that's been out there, it reminds me of like Spy Family, like the way they animate it. It's like pretty chill.
Yeah. After Xander watched it, he told me like he was disappointed because honestly, the action panels and stuff like that in the manga, are top of the line. So like,
they're nice, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of broke my heart because I'm expecting like, 10 out of 10 Demon Slayer animation because you can do that. Like you don't need crazy powers to show crazy animation. Like simple hand-to-hand fights can still have super fluid, great animation. And so I haven't watched the full episode, but from what I've seen, it wasn't extremely impressive. Nothing was bad or like the worst, but like it's not blowing me away.
And it's also hard because we're watching like some of the best anime like out there right now.
Like of all time.
Yeah, like peak animation. And so anything we watch, we're like, bro, Jujutsu Kaisen fight scenes way better than this. Like,
so like we can't compare everything to Demon Slayer.
Exactly, and that's like our standard right now. Like, Demon Slayer's better, and it is, but like. Demon Slayer is also like the number one anime out right now, so of course they're gonna dump the whole budget into one fight scene or whatever.
Yeah, but it is just the first episode.
True.
They could be saving the work
stuff.
and budget for later.
Do you think they animate the whole thing at once, or they kind of go week by week?
They do episode by episode. That's what I know. So like, because they'll have different directors for different episodes, unless they have a special case where they're like, this guy is gonna, have a whole body of work and basically help animate every episode. But usually they have different directors, so they'll be like working on different times, different teams. Like different directors will have different buddies that they'll bring along, like friends that'll work on stuff. Like the first season of One Punch Man, I know the main director, animation director had some buddies who worked on the entire season, and so that's why the entire first season of One Punch Man is like consistently 10 out of 10 from start to finish.
Yeah, definitely noticed that.
But yeah,
For One Punch Man, for sure. Then season 1,
yeah, the show.
hard as hell. Season 2, it's okay.
Yeah.
But I heard season 3 is dropping soon, so we'll see what's up.
Yeah, we'll look forward to that, and maybe the later episodes of Sakamoto Days will be more impressive.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, I guess we're done here. Thanks everyone who stayed to the end, gave us a listen.
Appreciate y'all.
Leave a comment down if you've seen the Sonic 3 movie, and let me know if Jim Carrey's a good actor. Because am I tripping or what? Because,
oh my god!
Because I feel like I'm.
Yeah, comment down below what y'all think about Jim Carrey or who's right.
Because I feel justified, and so I know someone out there. I know it's hard out here with all these Jim Carrey fanboys like dogging on your opinion, but trust, bros, it's okay. We know he's bad, okay?
Admit it.
See, look, we switched Anthony over already.
No. I'm a new Jim Carrey and Adam Sandler
okay,
fanboy.
I'll give it to you. Because you said Adam Sandler, okay, I'll give it. Jim Carrey's okay.
Wow.
All right, well.
All right, y'all. Yep. Appreciate everyone. This is what, episode 6?
Episode 6, baby.
Let's go.
First one of the new year.
Thank you all for listening.
All right. Thanks, everyone. Peace.
Peace.